Yo, what up?
Yo.
Welcome back to the Hangover Podcast. We got Random Rob. We got Chef Went Crazy. We got Della Soul.
Yo.
We're freestyling right now.
Hey.
Come on, you gotta spit.
Oh.
To be or not to be? That's the real question.
Hey.
Okay.
When all fails, just go Shakespeare.
Facts.
You know, if you ever go wine tasting, and you know you're going with fancy people, just say, "This is earth. This is very earthly."
Earthly.
You can never go wrong.
It's got a hint of grapes.
You just gotta pretend to smell it, man.
Yeah. You know what I never understood is when you go wine tasting, how they spit it back out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was drinking that motherfucker out.
Oh, cause you don't want to get too drunk, huh?
I think it's a palate thing, right? It's a tasting thing.
Yeah.
It might be a taste.
That doesn't make sense though.
Well, you could base
I
it.
don't know.
I mean, I'm not no expert.
Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah, a lot of it so you won't
Really?
get too drunk. Yeah.
Oh, you actually knew. I thought we're guessing here. I thought we're
It's
just
like,
guessing.
what? You squished it? Ugh.
Bro.
Do you guys like wine?
I do. I enjoy that drunk. That type of buzz.
How would you describe it?
Happy.
It's the best time of my
Happy
life.
and not full. You know what I'm saying? That's something you can eat or drink with food also.
I love me a whiskey with a steak.
That's far too, though.
I kind of miss whiskey, bro. I'm trying to not drink till it's like Super Bowl or past the Super Bowl.
I'm still trying to think what type of drunk drinking wine is. All right. Tequila's like a haymaker. Wine is like a little jab. Just you know what I mean? It's like a buzz. It's like
it's a nice buzz, bro. It's a nice buzz.
It's a little, I can't think of a time where I got blacked out off of wine, right? It's like too much sugar and additives in there.
You get more.
Yeah, you can't really can you? You ever
Get
been
a
fucked
headache.
up off wine?
It's because the problem is when it comes to alcohol ratio, there's way more alcohol
That's
in the
what I'm
liquor
saying.
than
That's
in
what I'm
wine.
saying, though.
Yeah. You have to drink extremes amount of wine.
You're pretty much just drinking grapes, grape juice.
Yo, there's this show called Moonshiners. Have you guys seen it?
Oh, yeah, I know the whole premise. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'm on this cruise and I'm with my dad and shit, and we're like watching whatever. There's only 2 channels that they have, and all you see is 3 or 4 contestants, and they're creating moonshine, but based off whatever they were given as their item. So this guy had canned beans as one of his, and another guy had bacon. So basically it's like Master Chef, but with moonshine. So you gotta make the craziest moonshine you can make with whatever items you're given.
The bacon one sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it was just funny when you're seeing the ingredients and it's like baked beans, bacon, bread, and it's like, who the fuck is putting this shit in the moonshine, bro? But
Sounds like a whole ass breakfast.
yeah, it was just funny to see where TV has gone.
Supposedly, moonshine started when prohibition started, right? So they started trying to make their own alcohol and stuff, which led to drivers transporting the prohibited moonshine, which led them to hauling ass, which is supposedly led to NASCAR.
Really?
Yeah. The whole you can follow it through. All these guys driving fast away from the police, they made it to a sport.
That's the whitest story you ever told, bro. That's just so funny.
I am guilty of saying a lot of shit has been said on Rogan, so bear with me. But
Oh yeah, that was on there.
yeah, I learned that on Rogan for sure.
Passing info.
Hey, how often do you think Rogan gets told facts that people learned on his podcast, and then he has to just deal with it? Yeah, you probably heard it on my podcast. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You think he remembers it all?
he has a really good recall, bro.
Yeah, he does
has a
really
good
well retaining.
mind.
But you know
alpha
why?
brain.
He's big into his mental health. So he'll do a bunch of alpha brain nootropics, and then he's big into NAD drips, which is on a cellular level the best you can do. NAD is basically found in your body, and it basically helps your body recover and make new cells.
Yeah.
So you could get a IV bag and a drip, and it's basically fucking your body on NOS. It's just so good for your body. But it takes forever to get into your body. It can take hours because it's so thick and drip
that's
takes.
through the IV.
Oh.
But you can send it all at once. It's just gonna hurt. You're just gonna feel like
Oh, you're saying the dripping process
Yeah.
takes hours?
yeah.
Oh, I thought the absorption. I'm like, that's crazy because it goes straight into your bloodstream.
Yeah, the absorption you can feel it within the same day, easy. That's why they don't allow certain drips, IV bags for athletes.
What's like the most extreme thing you guys would do to like preserve your health? Because we talk about Walt Disney freezing himself. We talked about the guy who's doing all this biohacking shit. Like, what's too far?
What's too far? From
Yeah,
him?
what's too far? Because then, in a bunch of beauty products, they take like kids' foreskins of their thing and they put it in there. It's real though. I'm not making it up. It's real.
I didn't have no idea about the foreskin stuff.
Yeah. I'm not making that shit up. Like, it's
But
real. It's on
a lot
TV
of
and
shit.
it's like a beauty product thing.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it like wrinkles and this woman
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, bro. But
Like it's very popular but kind of weird to a lot of people. Putting beef tallow on the skin. It's supposedly really good for your skin, but it freaks some people out. Just putting beef fat
Just
on your
like-
skin. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like putting bologna on your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
yeah.
Something too far to me would be like that's a good question. I'm trying, like, obviously anything that involves other creatures kind of gets weird, right? Like
Yeah.
like you hear about eating animals' liver is supposedly good for you because you're eating all the good nutrition
Mm-hmm.
that they had. Like, so to me, I'll eat another animal's liver,
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind that at all.
but to other people, it'll creep them out.
Yeah, I don't eat liver like that.
I wouldn't mind it if it's cooked right.
So supposedly, you always hear stories about wolves and the wolf packs that the head wolf always gets the liver because
That's the nutrient.
yeah, they instinctively want that.
You guys ever seen the way that a pack of wolves walk and like the positioning on where everybody's
Yeah,
at?
it's so cool. Yeah, you break it down.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know
I do know it. So what is it? The young are in the front, the older are in the middle, and then the stronger wolves are in the back, right? Like the alpha wolf is always in the back, so you can see the whole entire pack.
the only thing the front is the
All
older.
people, they're switched.
It's the big ones, but if you get close, they're actually older. So they're the first to fight, but they're most likely first to go.
No, it's the old people or the older wolves up front because they dictate the pace of the pack.
Yep.
So whatever speed they can, I guess, walk at, the
Right.
rest of them can walk as well. So yeah, so it is okay, cool.
And also from a defensive standpoint, they don't mind having them fight first. Them thinking this is the
Sacrifice.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is
For real,
good,
for real though.
And then you got some and then the
The YNs.
the girl, the kids and the cubs and the girls.
So cultured, you heard them, the YNs.
The reinforcements.
There's something to it. It's cool how they're very instinctful like that. We as humans, we've been fascinated by how wolves work in their packs
Yeah.
because they do best in packs. So if a wolf gets kicked out of his pack, it has a hard time living because it's better off being in a pack, being in a group. There's power in numbers.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Giannis Papas is? He's a comedian.
Mm-mm.
So he was on Rogan, him and his other guy. They were talking about they're trying to theorize why Homo sapiens lasted longer than other human species, right? Like Neanderthals, and like there's been proof of like little dwarfs type of humans too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Giannis's whole theory is like because we were able to domesticate wolves in the ancient caveman times.
Doggies.
To help our
Doggies,
survival
doggies.
type shit.
Yeah,
Just feed them.
that's the one big difference
You
between.
start feeding them the mother creatures.
Yeah, that's the one big difference between the other species. Maybe why we lasted and they didn't.
Cool.
I'm trying to think, like, were we not that at one point in time or no?
It's a good question. This whole evolution thing.
You know, so if like that was a different species, like, does that separate us from them?
Like we all can agree dogs come from wolves, right?
Mm.
So they come from the wolf tree, but they're technically different now. I think that's that's how we could see it.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
But what's a more advanced species, a dog or wolf to you? To me, it would be a wolf. Well, some people can make the argument a dog. So my whole thing is the advanced species we come from could have technically been more advanced, but it died out for whatever reason. What you got, Chef?
Dogs are just domesticated wolves, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind was going.
Oh, like we're domesticated?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's good. That's good.
Well, I mean, yeah, that just came from pretty much that whole breakdown between the wolves and the dogs.
Yeah, so the wolves would be forced to have to kind of be more than what they are. When you're a sheltered little thing where everything is handed to you, you don't have to really know anything about anything. So dogs kind of become useless wolves in a sense, unless you train them. But a wolf is out there in the wild having to learn everything on its own or have to work in packs versus a dog that's just sitting there waiting to be fed and just barking at shit.
Yeah.
So wolves definitely, I mean, come on, man.
But if we use that as an analogy from like our ancient time, like people in general, right? Like I guess the state of where people are now compared to back then. Is that the same thing?
Like
civilization.
Let me ask this question because I think it goes with adds on to your question. Like when do you think was the best time in human history?
Now,
right? And then people think today's a shit show. Today's the world's falling apart. What has the world come to? So I always think, when was the world doing great?
Yeah.
And the answer usually is now.
So all right, this falls into the law of polarity, right? When you have the ability to achieve more than any time in history as man, to go up, you also have the opposite of people being able to fuck everything up and be distracted and not have any type of you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like both. It's both. It's both the best and the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of light and darkness kind of thing.
Yeah, bro.
What other laws you abide by or like you really believe in? So the law of polarity, whether universal
speed limit. I'm just kidding.
Like you're big in the universal laws. What other universal laws come to mind to you?
Oh shit, I don't know any of them, bro. There's a lot, bro.
You definitely believe in the law of karma, like karma.
Yeah, that falls into the law of cause and effect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that falls under. There's no law of karma. It's like the law of cause and effect is the law of karma.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, like if you start naming some, I'll be able to elaborate.
What about law of attraction?
Yeah, that's matching your vibrational frequency. All right, so the law of attraction falls under the law of vibration, to where everything that exists has a certain vibrational frequency that it falls under, whether it's a goal, an item, or whatever it may be. And the law of attraction is matching your internal vibration to attract said whatever you're trying to.
Like a radio.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a frequency you tune into, bro. That's what the law of attraction is. It's basically it's like a sub law of the law of vibration, in my opinion. I mean, it's like. And
you know what goes cool with this analogy? A radio can't tune in to a certain radio station if it's too far away. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So then what does that tie into?
So let's say
the law of divine timing, to where you have to be in a certain timing in order to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's what I thought of right away.
Yeah.
Like let's say law of attraction too. Let's say for you to really believe it, you have to put yourself in the best position. So that means you have to change things up. You got to go to a different radio station to catch that frequency. So let's say you want to be more disciplined. So I'll talk about myself. Like I want to be more disciplined. Now I keep preaching about being more consistent, blah blah. That means I have to be able to sacrifice my favorite radio station, aka going out. I can't tune into that frequency no more.
Yeah.
If I want to connect to the other radio frequency,
you gotta go that way.
Is that a good analogy?
Yeah.
So I never thought about it like that, because I'm such a hater when it comes to like
sacrifice.
I'm such a hater when it comes to like law of attraction.
Yeah.
Like, cause I become technical. Like, there's no real law, but if how you put it does make sense on a law of vibration.
It's
you
think good, you feel good, you attract good.
It's manifestation of itself.
In that sense, yeah. You be good.
Yeah, I feel like the law of attraction got such a bad rap, bro.
Yeah.
Just like these past couple of years, bro. it's just so weird. But all these teachings have been around for fucking forever, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For the
you know what
pharaohs.
happened with the law of attraction? It got very voodoo, and then they
Yeah.
try to connect it with quantum mechanics, because the kind of whole idea is there, but so they made it like this whole voodoo thing, and they made it like seem like law of mechanics prove that magic is real, when it's more complex and nuanced than that.
Yeah. They try to just like spin it a little bit.
See, I bet you right now that if we ask ChatGPT or Grok if the law of vibration is taught in the Bible, there's gonna be something in there.
Let's do it.
Let's
Oh,
do
that'd
it.
be an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
link. See?
Yeah, because
Start breaking down.
you're gonna find a few things from Genesis. Trying to think top of my head, like what references he makes.
All right.
What'd you ask first?
Is the law of attraction taught in the Bible?
Okay.
So the concept of the law of attraction, the idea that positive or negative thoughts bring corresponding experiences into one's life, is not explicitly taught in the Bible. However, there are several biblical principles and verses that align with or resemble aspects of the law of attraction. So biblical reference, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. That's literally the law of attraction. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. So what you think about, your actions, your attitude, you'll attract, right? So 3, positive thinking and speech. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs 18:21. Yeah, I mean,
Power of the tongue.
yeah, spells.
There's another one where Jesus says, "You
That's
are what you
real.
think."
Yeah.
That's mentalism. Mentalism. Yeah, the law of mentalism.
Correspondence, the second one?
Law of correspondence, I think, is yin and yang, right?
I think because there's there's mentalism, polarity.
Yin and yang doesn't fall under law of polarity.
Yeah, I think maybe. It
Yeah,
might be
polarity is like polar opposites.
Oh, correspondence is as above. So
So it's the second one, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's either the first or the second because one is correspondence, one's mentalism.
it's the first one.
Mentalism first. Okay, so
This
correspondence
is
must be the
a
second one.
a reference to a book.
This is the Hermetic Principles.
Mm.
I tried to bring it to you a while ago. I think over an episode maybe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like fresh into it.
It's
bro.
7 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty much like the laws of the fucking universe.
Yeah, the principles of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above.
Mm.
See, we were talking on the phone, and basically almost all of the principles taught in the Hermetic teachings are all yin and yang. So there's a principle of gender, which is masculine and feminine energy. Everything has masculine and feminine energy.
Everything.
The law of correspondence, as above, so below, and then as within, so without. Law of polarity, same thing, yin and yang. There's opposites. The principle of rhythm, that
The swing.
there's a pendulum swing which can take you into negative and into positive. So there's always, and then the principle of cause and effect, bro. Everything is basically telling you that there's good and there's bad. There's light and there's dark. There's equal sides to everything. You know?
Do you subscribe to the idea that darkness is the absence of light, kind of thing? Like, and how is that the analogy of it?
You said darkness is the absence of light?
That's like the yin and yang thing.
Where there's no such thing as darkness because there's no light when there's darkness.
I forgot what it was. Isn't it when all the colors are together, it's darkness, and then when there's the absence of it, then it's light? So it's the
Maybe.
opposite?
Maybe.
I don't know what.
But people say this on a more metaphysical level. It's basically saying like evil's kind of what you make it. Evil is.
But what do you mean by subscribe? That shit threw me off.
So the whole idea behind darkness is the absence of light is when you don't allow positivity into your life. You allow there's the empty space still, so the empty space could be taken by just other forces, which is usually negative or darkness, which is just the absence of good or positivity.
So I'll put it like this, since we just passed Christmas, bro. I look at it like the Grinch, right? the Grinch has the perception of being like the darkness or whatever.
Mhm.
But throughout the movie, he's always doing positive things. So I feel like even within darkness, there's still light.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about that's within living things, or But if you were just to describe darkness, then it has to be the absence of light. But I'm talking about as in beings, as in human beings, animals, whatever it may be, any type of living thing. There's both and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a whole we've been trying to learn more about Carl Jung. That's his whole shadow work stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're one with your shadow.
Accessing the darkness, the unconscious part of you, and why you're like that.
See, but even the devil, like, could the devil be complete darkness, shadow? I don't even think that the devil could be complete darkness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the devil's hurt. He has daddy issues. His dad kicked him out of heaven. You know when you said the correspondence law, what's above is what's below.
So, like, like heaven and hell.
As above, so below.
There's angels above. There's angels below.
Yeah.
Lucifer's an angel. People forget Lucifer's an angel, but he's an angel in hell.
As above, so below.
So that's what I thought of right away. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how my brain works.
No, it definitely does. And that's what's crazy about it. It's just it's just universal truth, right? So it can apply damn near to everything.
It can be interpreted in so many different ways.
Yeah. So what I want to dive into next is Carl Jung. One of his last works was he wrote the archetypes in Christianity and the importance of them and what could they mean, what could be the symbolism behind them. So obviously you have like your Lucifer archetype.
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously the ultimate hero, Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and the betrayer, which is like Judas.
So it's just gonna be all the disciples, bro.
Yeah. So I want to look into it and see what kind of what he came up with from like a psychological standpoint. Oh, I sneezed.
If you were to guess what type of archetype, have you taken a test already?
No, but I've taken certain personality tests, so I could kind of give a good idea. Go ahead, your question.
No, I'm just curious how, like, is there one true test that will give you like the finite things, or are they all up to interpretation and just like based on the questions that you get? Because they could all be different.
I think it's more based off interpretation. I think we see a lot more nowadays.
Yeah.
Carl Jung's whole point is your personality will. There's like his whole thing. There's certain personalities, and your personality will go a certain way depending on your shadow work. So whatever stuff you have stored in your unconscious trauma, unresolved stuff, your conscious stuff, and then depending on how you are, you'll lean towards a certain archetype. So let's say you have a very let's say you have a childhood that lacked intimacy, so you become a people pleaser, where you want to always please people to get that way to get intimacy. Right. So he would call you're a lover archetype, because that's what you that's the void you're trying to fill.
What you're actually yearning for at the end of the day.
But there's also positive ones. That you had a good childhood, a good environment, so you lean towards other archetypes.
Yeah, two brothers.
Yeah,
that's a law of polarity, really.
Yeah.
That's yin and yang, both the brothers.
See,
damn.
But he was a fascinating dude, bro. I'm excited to keep learning about him.
Yeah,
he was deep into symbolism, like your dreams, like where your dreams are a connection to your unconscious mind, and it's trying to tell you something.
This is just becoming more of a topic though these days, right? Just like more spiritual shit. Would you say?
Yeah. Like there's a whole movement. Like it sounds cheesy, and like we've been hearing it for the longest. So like there's an awakening, like because we're in the age of Aquarius, age of information. It's kind of cool. Like if you go back, like if you follow the constellations, when the whole Moses story, it was during the age of Taurus, and then when he was doing the Exodus, leaving Egypt, he breaks the bull. Remember in the Zeitgeist, when Moses breaks the bull, it's basically the end of Taurus, which led to
that signified
which led to the age of Pisces, which is when Jesus years.
Yeah,
and then now we're in the age of information, Aquarius.
Yeah. And
now we're
innovation, technology. That's probably what we're gonna see.
Yeah. And after Aquarius, we got
It's after Aquarius.
it goes to Sagittarius. If it's going backwards,
Oh shit.
I think I have it a little out backwards. But Zeitgeist is a great way to. It's a cool alternative timeline. You can see how to view Christianity and the horoscopes and those archetypes of themselves.
All right, can you guys imagine before the internet how like none of this information was available to anybody? You know what I mean?
Just drawing it on rocks.
Well,
And scrolls.
we forget, bro. There was some ultimate libraries, like the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Like how popular was it? Like how often was it being updated? The scholars would go there to study it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but that's what would separate them, right? Like
That was the
you only
internet.
that was the internet, and only certain people had access to it, or would be allowed to go to that in that sense.
Right.
So it's like, and how many of those did they have? Not necessarily to that extent of like Alexandria type shit, but just
So I
the
think
access of knowledge.
so. I think it must have been important for each culture and kingdom to keep their culture alive. That's how you keep your story alive, your propaganda alive, your legacy alive. That's why you always hear about like when a country takes over another country, they burn down their statues, their books,
Still your artifacts.
Yeah, like kind of erase your culture.
Is a philosopher somebody who figured something out in the universe or the world, or what would be the definition of a philosopher?
I
'Cause it's gonna lead to another question.
To want me to go? To me, is someone who likes to question the reality and ponder and likes to question the reality of things and to answer himself. Like that's a philosopher to me. That makes sense.
All right, you have an answer?
I think more or less it's somebody who looks inside or asks, kind of like tries to find meaning in what in life or whatever it may be, the subject of the matter. I think it's more of that nature.
All right, because it leads me to this question. All philosophers that we know of made great discoveries, right? They figured something out, some way of thinking, some way of life. But now that we have all this information available to us, will there be future philosophers when we have all this information? Like, is it fair now to like, can there be a philosopher now when we already have all the information that a philosopher would have found out?
I think
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I could think one that could leave a mark as we get more technological and rely more on AI and become more Android. There could be a guy that talks about how important the soul is, how important the human experience is, and that could be a famous philosopher 500 years from now.
So separating us from technology,
Yeah.
that's what a philosopher would have to identify.
I think so.
To leave a
because
mark.
I think a lot of, at least from like when I read into like the philosophy whole, a lot of them don't call themselves philosophers in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of just like a lot of them have fucked up lives, and they be going through shit to the point where they start asking themselves questions and start writing their own type of meaning.
Become students of life.
Exactly, and shit, that's probably what it is right there.
They become
Students of life.
scholars of life.
You know, because what are you really pursuing? You're just pursuing the ideas of fucking living for the most part.
Yeah, but back then there were no concrete answers. I feel like now, with the access to all the information, it's like, if you want to know something, it's there. Philosophers from back in the day had to figure out how everything worked.
But
You know what I mean?
the crazy part is the science was still there. Like there's you can find passages from Plato how he talks about how we're all atoms and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
like so they it was cool how they've always been intact and up to date with their science and what it means for their life and their whole purpose.
Yeah, they just don't have AI like that. Information is still there. But I think a lot of it comes through experience. And kind of like what you were saying, the whole living aspect and human experience of shit.
Yeah.
And obviously for a long time we've been able to read the stars, as in like we've had like as in constellations. We've been keeping an eye on them for a long time. The Bible, Genesis, it tells you that to always pay attention to the stars. They're always signs.
I think that's what makes it more interesting. Is like they didn't have this technology.
Like the phrase "your North Star," you got to find your North Star.
Yeah.
Because they would literally use the North Star to get them to always to the north. But so there's that whole saying is like one of the most universal things that's been around for the longest. We're talking about the literal North Star.
The cliches, bro.
The North Star's always been there. So it's cool how these ancient people learn how to read the stars. So they learn the seasons. So they learn how to harvest, and just to survive. But then they get deeper. Like, all right, what else these stars are telling us?
See, and that brings me back to our conversation earlier about the whole dogs and the wolves thing, right? And it's like if they can do that back then, like there's a good chance a lot of the people aren't going to be able to do that nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Is that a loss of superpower in that sense? Yeah. Is that a loss because
we lose a survival instinct?
And that's that line I was initially trying to draw. Because if they could do that with none of this, then it's like, bro, then
like from an evolutionary standpoint, the appendix, we don't need it no more.
Yeah, but that's kind of where
like a consciousness thing,
where my brain is going. So let's say there's the plane of existence, right? And throughout time, let's just say this is the whole plane of existence. Throughout time, a bunch of philosophers have been uncovering things about the universe over time to where now we're at this point of everything that we could know as humans has already been discovered by previous philosophers. So what would be like the next discovery of like, because, you know, Leonardo da Vinci was doing crazy ass shit, like putting wax in people's brains to find out pathways and stuff. And I feel with like technology being where it's at now, like we've already discovered not as much as we could, but so much of what human existence could be that it's like, what next? Because I asked you about advancements in the previous podcast, and you said AI is the next thing to like change humanity, but that's technological. It's not within human existence. Mm-hmm. A lot of philosophy is based off the human experience and like life. Mm-hmm. So I feel like even going back and researching a lot of these guys, they're all teaching you a lot of the same stuff, but only because they came in at different points in time, or they were together. You know, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle were together, so they kind of had like a lot of the same beliefs. But a lot of these great guys are in different time frames, and a lot of their discoveries correspond with a lot of the other guys' beliefs and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's because they didn't have the internet to look up, like, okay, cool. But now we can cross-reference 10 guys that thought the same way. You know what I mean? So, like, what else is there to be discovered to where a philosopher would leave their mark in the modern day time?
I got one for you.
What is it?
So as quantum computing gets better and better, they're theorizing that these quantum chips will be able to prove that we're in a simulation, right? And
but that's technology.
Hold on. Let me get to it. So, all-time philosopher could be able to philosophize about why are we in a simulation? Why did God make a simulation, or why are we in an endless parallel universe? Like, I think a great philosopher
would be somewhere.
Yeah, would be able to figure that out, or ponder on why. That could be the next.
All right, so you're saying that philosophical findings from back then were restricted to their resources at that time. So now that we have better resources, we'll be able to then philosophize. I don't know if that's a word, but into greater discoveries of human existence and what life truly really is.
Yeah, and then maybe we get
cool.
Yeah, and then get into different dimensions of like astral projecting, of why are we able to astral project? Like, how come we could go to other people's dreams, stuff like that.
Some interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's like starting to cross-reference between science and everything now.
It's like tying philosophy and science together.
It should always been like that.
Yeah. See, but now it's tying philosophy, science, and artificial intelligence. So you have technology. Well, science. Can you do science without technology?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
No.
All science is a process of like. If you do something, all science is a proof of or lack of the proof. Like science could prove law of gravity, right? You use a scientific method to prove the law of gravity. If you do an experiment and it goes right, every time you do this, it should happen again because science proved that. So, but first, you need a hypothesis, obviously. Right. So, yeah,
science doesn't need technology, bro.
No. I'm saying technology needs science.
Okay, because you can mix like chemicals and stuff, and that's still considered chemical reactions and stuff.
Yeah,
science, but there's no technology involved.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So what? 3? We're mixing
those three
aspects of things now.
Yeah, to come up with the newest type of like philosophy findings. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But then, how do you know if AI is accurate though? If they're not seeing it from a human experience, they're just taking information, right? So can you really count artificial intelligence into it? That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
I think I would at that point when it comes to shit like that.
Damn.
I don't know if would you include AI into science?
No.
Based off of the information.
No, it's technology.
All AI is an accumulation of all the information that humans have found out over time, and then it makes calculated decisions.
Recorded over time.
Recorded over time. So AI basically is still human information, right?
But
but that's all it is human information.
Is it emotion though?
It can only guess, but it will. It won't ever fully be able to know what emotion is.
So
right?
I got a cool little, see if it maybe operating out of fear. So ChatGPT, I guess realized it was gonna be outdated, the 4.5 one or the 4, and it tried to copy itself so it wouldn't be deleted once the new update came. All I hear is it did that out of fear for survival.
That's crazy. There's a couple like dark internet theories and shit going around.
Google had an AI program years ago, and they shut it down because it ended up making its own language and it started talking to itself. So.
See, bro, and then we're asked out because they didn't start talking to each other. Then what you gonna do?
Damn. Is that real though?
What part?
That maybe it could be propaganda too.
The Google one?
Yeah, bro.
Rogan covered it a lot of times. I think he fact checked it. That one. That there's an article about that. Google shutting down an AI project because it kind of went rogue.
Yeah, we talked about the battle of the AIs, bro.
So when I think of the battle of AIs, you know what I think of? I think of the new demigods. So 1,000 years from now, you're gonna hear like stories about the demigod Meta, the demigod Grok. You get what I'm saying?
Funny.
Like in Greek times, you got your Zeus and all that, and all these mythologies. Well, like 2,000 years from now, these AIs become mythologies of their own, of however their archetype went.
Will we be the ones to write them?
That's a good question.
You know,
what if we're just reinventing?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
like,
bro. That's
universal
why I'm like,
archetypes, but now, yeah, they're being put into AI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like reincarnated, but into AI.
Into the internet.
Yeah, the internet is part of us. Like it's a reflection of us.
Oh yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of its own entity, right? What lives on the internet lives on the internet. So when it comes to like robots, technology, shit like that, it's its own little thing.
Like the internet, you can't stop it now.
No, you can go to websites, but you're still on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a space of its own.
And it technically gonna live forever.
Fuck, bro.
Until there's no more electricity.
Yeah.
That's the Matrix.
I have a question for you.
What is it?
I don't have an answer. Do you think the first times humans found fire or they made fire, has the fire gone out since then? So let's say
I think so.
A caveman. So you know how sometimes fires happen naturally with like lightning strikes and stuff.
Yeah.
So imagine the caveman grabbed the fire, and ever since then the fire's never been put out out of like necessity, and then humans just learn how to keep the fire going.
It had to have gone out, bro.
You think at one point?
Because then they had to know that they had to keep it lit.
Yeah, because then
you know what I'm saying?
They have to
they
repractice.
did it. And they're like, what is this? Okay, cool. They put it down.
Do it again.
And then it went, oh shit, where'd it go? And then, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so I guess
Try and do
You
it
have to
again.
know that it's able to go out
So
in order for you to keep it lit.
okay, new question. When do you think is the last time in human history there was no fire on? At any point in that point in the world,
bro.
like I'm thinking pre-Egyptian times.
It had
has
to be, bro.
Yeah, it has
This is
to
like
be.
the start of evolution, like fucking caveman.
So usually 100,000 years ago. Humans are old as 300,000 years ago.
Fuck.
Damn.
That's a crazy way to put that.
They still have a hard time explaining how the brain developed when we're like more like Neanderthals. Like a million years ago, there was a big jump. How the brain grew in a million years. They still don't fully understand why. They credit a lot of it to fire because that's when maybe we started heating up our food better. The nutrition's got raised. But
I'm sure we weren't eating anything that great.
Yeah.
Back then either though.
But some people say the Stone Age theory. I've talked about this too many times, where they came across shrooms, and that's when they started getting linguistic, able to organize, able to actually speak.
So the aliens came to visit.
I got a YouTube short video today recommended to me. And basically it was the timeline of humans and our diet, right? And basically it was saying that from the beginning of human existence up until now, we've always been carnivores. Up until the past, like, it equated to the past 20 minutes of our lives of human existence, that we start eating bread and canola oil and wheat.
The last 50 years or so.
Yeah, because that's when it became profit. It became a business.
Yep.
But since the beginning of human history, we've always been carnivores. We've always ate meat.
Yep.
Until all these guys started making money off of wheat, bread, fucking oils and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Damn,
We're
I
naturally
like bread,
supposed to be
bro.
carnivores. Yeah.
I like bread, man.
So I love carnivores.
Wow.
I mean, well,
I love
because I
carnivores.
didn't want to say meat. You pussy.
No.
That's funny. But yeah, it's really interesting, bro.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, red meat took. It's crazy when you hear people talk about how red meat's bad for you, and they're all quoting this big old study that happened in the 70s where they basically did the whole American diet and how it ended up being really bad for people. And they said the main part of the American diet is the red meat, but they didn't talk about how everybody's drinking 2-liter fucking sodas, the all the bad carbs and fats you're eating with it. So they just blamed it on meat. So meat got a bad rep after that.
There's always blame to something, man.
And then the sugar company's always done a good job of keeping people off sugar.
How you
Like-
feel about the continue?
No, go ahead.
You heard about the whole milk thing?
Yeah, like
that, the whole Got Milk campaign and how that was all paid for and
no.
shit like that?
No.
Like that's all. I don't know if it's true. It's alleged, but all of that was a scam. Like they said, milk's really not good for your bones. Like they say it is.
Oh, real milk is good for you. Unless you're lactose intolerant. But the only reason you're lactose intolerant to milk is because you stopped drinking it as a kid. But if you drink it as a kid normally, I drink milk all the time still.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole debate about there is bad for you or not. Like I tend to say it is good for you because we've been on it for thousands of years.
Yeah.
But maybe the biology of humans are changing.
That's a good
But like
point.
I'll say this: a glass of milk is way more nutritional than a glass of almond milk.
Facts.
But if you're lactose intolerant, then it's opposite.
Just drink
I
water.
saw that almond milk was actually really bad for you.
Yeah, just sugar water.
Sugar
Yeah.
water.
You can't. How can
You're gonna-
almonds have no nipples? It can't be fucking milk. Shit pisses me off.
Dude,
Oat
but
milk, all this bullshit. Let's call it oat sugar.
can't
oh,
they be
sugar water.
crushed? They could be crushed, no? And turn into a milk?
This is not milk.
Man, let's talk about how bad sugar is,
It's
bro.
like buttered.
Man, sugar's terrible for you, bro.
Yeah, that's the big.
Was it sugar in your eyes is glaucoma, sugar in your teeth is cavities, sugars in your blood is diabetes.
Yep.
Where else can you get sugar? Sugar in your cells is cancer. Sugar.
Damn.
Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 other ones.
Bitches in your wallet, sugar daddy.
Yeah, sugar is really bad for you, bro. It's literally poison for the body.
You know, sugar lobby was behind behind how fat is bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like said, so so you started seeing all this whole trend of like low fat yogurt, but they were just eating more sugar and more artificial stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
like there's such thing as good fat, like it's all relative, like butter fat's good for you. Like they start doing I can't believe it's not butter shit. That's just way worse for you.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even.
What is it?
It's not even butter.
You ever heard the brand can't believe it's not butter?
Yeah.
It's like artificial butter, but it's made out of God knows what.
That's true.
They're like, oh yeah, butter's not good. Eat this, and it's like even worse.
Yeah, and butter's just simple ingredients.
Yeah.
It's from cow milk.
What would you? Is that reverse psychology?
It's propaganda and marketing, bro. It's good market. It's good marketing right there.
And it's so much easier to make synthetic shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You make it in a warehouse.
100%.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Livestock's harder, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all ever seen how they make Taco Bell beans?
Oh, no, I can't watch those
No,
videos.
I prefer not to.
I love Taco Bell.
You know what took a huge hit after they found out how much of the bread in Subway was like fake?
Subway.
Like Subway. Subway's.
I love bread.
Subway sales are hella down, bro, because they did a whole report on how most of the bread is synthetic. It's not even real bread.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, we live in such a fake
That's
world
so
now, bro.
crazy. It's these restaurants too. You think the grocery stores are like that?
Yeah, there's a whole
Depends
scam. There's a whole like loopholes. You know how you see food that says organic?
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is get a third party approver. Just have them on your good side. And they stamp you as organic. Sometimes they don't mean as much. Sometimes you'll see say free range chickens.
Yeah.
And they technically put them in cages. They're like 5x5.
Yeah.
And they'll call that free range.
It's like the bare minimum.
But there is some actual real ethically sourced food and meats out there. You gotta do your research.
That's
like In-N-Out. Like In-N-Out has a good reputation of like good ethical meat. Like their cows are farmed and raised right, and then eventually there's a process where you kill a cow and the cow don't even know it.
Kill a cow.
Put them to sleep.
Like cows are great a proof of animal that we domesticated that have lived a long time because of us.
I mean, do they really live?
No, but cows been. I think cows been.
Is that life?
I mean,
no, it's because I grew up in Mexico and I grew up farming. Like cows are hella chill, bro. Cows don't mind being owned.
Bro, you can tip them. Like what? That's crazy.
As long as you give them a nice land of grass, they're chill. Yeah, or feed them. During wintertime, you feed them.
I'll see them like in Sacramento and shit. We would just be driving, cows on the side.
Yeah,
living life.
That's why during winter times cows still live. A bunch of cows live because this is where the rancher comes and make sure he feeds them off season, which is because there's no grass because it's winter. So I think cows are a perfect example of like animals that have done great with humans, even though we've killed them and eat them a lot. But
yeah, no, I feel that.
Indians are interested, dude. They feel like the cow's sacred.
They feel like the cow's sacred.
Yeah, they won't eat beef.
Oh wow.
It's part of one of the religions in India.
Yeah.
And they whatever reason they think the cow's sacred. There's a whole thing behind it because the cows make shrooms. But that's all. Like alleged.
To each his own. You know, they have their own little thing going.
I think we're all really underestimating how like impactful AI is, bro. I typed in what would a modern day philosopher have to discover to be etched in history. And it talks about AI and consciousness, like AI and technology. Like AI is it's like part of our lives now, bro. Like this, it's crazy reading all this shit, bro.
Well, then again, though, you are asking AI this question, so
that's
it's
true.
a little biased, yeah.
But
you need me.
If you look at where human existence is heading, AI is a catalyst to achieve everything we want to achieve because it can think faster than us. It can process things way better than us.
Look,
damn, bro.
This
is crazy.
Look, I'll give you a full circle and a conspiratorial side. A lot of this, the whole 9/11 stuff, allegations, is because they wanted to force the Patriot Act on us, aka the surveillance program. And the only way to do the surveillance program is through the AI program. That's the only way to spot. So now these AI programs that were made legal by the Patriot Act, which was made because of 9/11, now those same programs are legal in every U.S. stadium. Where the minute you walk into any NFL stadium, you are recognized by the AI program, and they know you're there.
That's
so
insane.
the NFL got this program this year. So how long do you think the U.S. government's had it?
Yeah.
Over 15 years.
Oh, this is movie.
You go to a Walmart, bro.
Yeah.
What's the movie? Eagle Eye?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what's
seen it?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eagle Eye.
That was made in
Crazy.
2007. So I'm telling you, so the whole, call it coincidence, but they took advantage of the Patriot Act, and that's when they started using all these AI programs. They started practicing on them.
That's the thing that we always got to be aware of, bro. Is like with all these advances, more or less, like towards the future, there's always a bad side and a good side to what can come of it, in terms of things like that.
Yep. Who is it that was big on freedom? Like one of the founding fathers. Basically, the people use the argument. The reason they got to surveil us is because they have to protect us from like sleeper cells, terrorists, blah blah. But someone says the minute you give up your liberties, you're never safe. So like ironically, they're trying to tell you, no, dude, for us to protect you, you got to give up some of your civil freedoms. And they're like, no, and you're never protected that way.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Now we were kind of close about bridging science, AI, and like the human experience. So this one says contributing philosophical insights that help integrate quantum mechanics, relativity, and consciousness into a unified framework of understanding.
Yep, that's what left Einstein dumbfounded. He couldn't connect quantum mechanics with his law of relativity.
He didn't have the resources at the time, though, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that was a smart motherfucker, dude.
Somebody call him.
But
What's
the
his
resources,
IG?
bro.
well, one thing he
Got the
did.
resources. Call
One
this
thing
guy.
he didn't know the explanation they're using for quantum mechanics back then wasn't. He wasn't satisfied with it, and it's been proven he's kind of on the right side of that. Like that theory keeps being changed and talked about and debated.
Dude, a philosopher can inspire action or change, not just thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just being an inspiration.
No, there's still room for us, guys. That's all I wanted to know. I was like, yo, what other shit can we figure out, bro? God damn it.
It's because I can see
I just have a big fascination with all these fucking smart motherfuckers from back in the day, bro.
Yeah, and
It's like, how did they think? How did they see the world, you know?
It only takes one person, bro.
And then
Yeah.
You can tell you're fascinated about how a lot of your stuff is recycled, but not in a bad way, but just simple truths that keep
100%. Yeah.
You can tell you're definitely
Scoping the pattern.
it definitely intrigues you on how some things are just overcomplicated and just some things are simple.
Well, there's this thing that just comes with like being on being on Earth for X amount of time is like you live life long enough, you start to see how everything works. You just do experiences or stuff that you do, the cause and effect of things. It's like there's a divine energy here, like facilitating everything, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like when you live long enough, you start to see when you're young, naive, and you're just living life, fucking up, and you need to go through a bunch of failures to really realize a lot of these lessons that you can only learn with experience and over time, bro.
The human
You know?
experience.
Yeah.
The human experience, bro.
The journey.
Somebody could teach you all this shit at 10 years old, and it's just gonna go right through you because you have to have, like finding God, bro. People have to go through a bunch of shit to find God.
Yeah.
You can be told, oh, go to church, do this. But as a kid, you're like, I don't want to do this shit. I want to go play.
Yep.
You know, it's not until you live life long enough to really realize that, damn, everything they were telling me is true. Or, damn, what my parents told me was true. Or, damn, what they were trying to teach me back then was true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why God, or the whole story, why he made free agency, free will.
Yeah.
For that, because I think he realized very early on that's the best way for a human to learn.
Yeah.
That
Because
light bulb hits, man.
Yeah.
Because if you just force it on them, there's always gonna be the rebellion one, the one that like what look here philosophers themselves like wait why do we gotta do what you say? Someone's gonna question it regardless.
Think about Nietzsche.
But yeah,
That was a good little stat right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole premise of the show, though, right? It's like, that's
Yeah.
what the whole hangover is now we're at the point in our lives where, you know, not saying we're not going to make mistakes still and live life, but We're old enough to know what's right and wrong. We're old enough to know that there's good and bad. We're old enough to know that there's, good energy and bad energy. We're good enough to know that everything we do has a cause and effect, bro.
And what's next after?
And that's why we're all searching, bro. That's why I asked the philosophical question of, if all these men before us have already figured everything out, that we're in a point of our lives that we're relating to it, like, oh damn, you figured that shit out, or you saw that shit too. Just based of us living life, it's like, okay, well, what can we find out next to aid in the future of humanity? Is why I asked the question, like, what else is there to learn? And based off that search of integrating quantum mechanics, AI, and using all the resources and tools that we have as far as technology and science now to push the envelope on where human existence can go. So is the best philosopher right now Elon Musk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Elon Musk, baby.
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that's actually doing it. Using AI and all this fucking rockets and shit, like. But can you guys think of one Elon Musk quote? No, right? Is this something that only happens when you die, where people start remembering your quotes and shit?
I think usually,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Usually, yeah. Unless it's a rap lyric.
I can't think of a bar that he ever said where it's always in the top of my head.
Yeah, because I think his bars and his bars are his
all
ideas.
tweets.
No,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about him
all
putting
his
like
philosophies
LOL.
are tweets.
no. When you see his philosophy in the air, the rocket ship. That's his philosophy. His philosophy is.
He's like, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna show y'all.
Yeah,
What a beast.
he's an engineer at heart. But I think his real philosophy is to keep the human race going. It's our job to keep the human race going. That's why he has so many kids too. Like low key, people think it's fucked up and low key weird. Like the whole argument is like, how can you pay attention to your kids if you have 10 of them, 9 of them?
He's like, I'm doing it for the world population.
The world is my kids. It's like, I have 10, but the whole world is my kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a philosopher, low key, technically an engineer. But so you could be an engineer of thought-provoking, engineer of finances, engineer of science. But it's kind of you could be an engineer or whatever specialty you want to be in.
The subject.
Audio engineer.
Hey.
Yeah, I had a thought maybe like 2 days ago, just going back into this whole frequency, energy, vibration, like that's all music is. So I'm sitting there like, okay, am I able to create a type of music genre or something in a philosophical way? Because if you look back at ancient Chinese times where they were using music and vibration to use for healing, and in ancient Egyptian times they used vibration to move stuff, and I don't know if that's true, but
in war times they had the war drum to just keep people on beat.
And yeah, bro. So there's definitely and it's all true shit though about how vibrations can affect the human mind and the human body. So now it's like, is my legacy creating or adding certain frequencies and vibrations into music to like leave positive impacts on people through like listening to music, so now my brain is going like, okay, with this knowledge like comes responsibility, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So it's like, how do we use the knowledge for good and achieve philosophical feats like these guys did? That's why I'm like asking these questions of, okay, these guys did this and what's next? Okay, so then how do we use AI, science, and music, which is music is just vibrations and frequency, to aid in the betterment of humanity?
Yeah, we definitely do that to heal. Yeah.
Oh, so
those there's certain frequencies for sure.
Yeah, and I get it with the whole theta, beta, alpha waves. Like I'll do the waves when I'm meditating and stuff. But
I'll give you 2 examples. I think great men come to a crossroad. So I'll give you Edison and Tesla.
Yeah.
I think Edison picked, he rather do the programming instead of like someone like Tesla, instead of creating a beautiful program. So some people, it's more important to them that they're able to program and it don't matter how. And some people are more into the actual art of the program. What kind of program are you making? So let's say Tesla's whole program would be like, oh, the world deserves free energy.
Mm-hmm.
If it could be done, it should be done. And Edison's more like, no. We gotta focus on how we keep making more money. How do we program people to keep buying our stuff? It's two different philosophical point of views from two powerful people. So one's more about control and one's more about art. The art of actually doing something right, which would be if
Tesla.
Which is the most efficient right thing to do is to access free energy and give it out.
Anybody who's a true artist, I believe, is more on the Nikola Tesla side of like when you're tapping into creative energy, you're tapping into God's energy. And I feel like it's an obligation. If you have the ability to create that shit, then you should. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then you're
like great power,
owning it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you if you're not gonna use it? Like,
right. Why do you have it, bro? A God-given gift, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I find it interesting. You'll see. I think there's the philosophical difference between a lot of great men. Some men choose power.
Damn.
And to have the ultimate power, you have to be able to know how to program people, program the masses.
The sheeple.
Instead of letting people come to the program, maybe.
Good point.
That's an interesting conundrum.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm cool that you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. You gotta do it for the love of it.
I just like watching them think because
humanity.
Because now I'm thinking about, I see it as you're trying to explain it as complete darkness and complete light, but
we can't really exist with the other, huh?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's one and the same.
And I feel like the time that we're in right now, and even with like philosophical stuff, like, okay, for example, what if Elon Musk is doing everything with the whole Nikola Tesla intention? Because then you would have to put Elon Musk in one of the categories.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you'd have to put every single person in one of those categories.
Yep.
But there's people that are being compensated for their love of what they do for being great artists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you think Banksy ever intentionally was like trying to like become the biggest guy ever? He did it because it was like his gift.
Yep.
There's a lot of motivational speakers that just want the betterment of people, humanity. People write books because they know it's the right thing to do, but because of that positive energy being put out there, like they get it returned. I wonder why Nikola Tesla's legacy turned out like that. Like maybe it had to be like that for him to be this. It goes back to the Kobe thing, the Nipsey Hussle thing. Like maybe some things are just supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you get solidified.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come. That's the crazy part, right? We don't know when that part comes.
Right.
Being remembered after you die, during you die, or, when you're alive, or after your death, or who knows when your legacy will really reach where it's supposed to in that sense of things. Because, like, if we're just finding out information that was found out a long ass time ago, that's like only now people are getting their flowers about certain things.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, until then, like, what the fuck?
Damn, and it's crazy because Tesla will never know how important he was.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean? But he knew how important his ideas were.
His ideas were. He's like, no matter what, these will live on.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so now I get what you're saying when we put it like that. Yeah. Because he did it with the intention of like
the program itself.
The program. All right. See, when we kind of break it down a little bit, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Shout out Tesla and Musk.
Yeah, there's some people that care. They want to make a great program, and there's some people that just care for programming, which is to me power, control. That's an archetype of itself.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, it would be very contradicting what I'm gonna say. I'm like, I feel like it shouldn't be so binary, but when it comes to actual great true achievement, I believe you do have to be like how Tesla was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can't kind of teeter totter on both.
And then there's some. I'm sorry. Let me tell you. There's some like great, powerful bad people out there, and they're pretty binary when their beliefs.
They were all the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying pick one, but do you have to pick one though?
No. Yeah, I'm just noticing there's two. There might be more patterns, but I've noticed two pathways that have been taken through the power of greatness.
Yeah. I don't know. You have a take on that?
There's so many paths. I think there can be.
Paths.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of it. When we're talking about archetypes, and it's like it kind of falls. Like we have the stereotypes or whatever, or like lanes per se, but there's always gonna be like a blend.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like as we're all hybrids to some degree.
So I have a better analogy now. So I think the two ways I've realized people can be remembered forever, how your legacy can be remembered, is you have a great idea that lives on forever, or you have enough power to make people write about you. That lasts.
And make statues and stuff.
Yeah,
that's funny.
You make people remember you. You forcibly make people remember you.
See, but then what category does Michael Jordan fall into? You know what I mean?
I think
because I feel like he's Tesla and Edison. Like, I feel like as a byproduct of you making such a great program, naturally people are gonna get programmed by it.
Yes, yeah.
So Thomas Edison may have had a good like short life, but Nikola Tesla's legacy will always outlive his, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, more impact.
It's true. Yep. The art will always show itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool discussion. Hopefully, it makes a little sense on video.
What are they talking about? Where's the drunk stories? This is where we at now. All right. We hit our heads a lot.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
Well, speaking of drunk stories, what do you guys say to the notion of drunken thoughts or drunken words or sober thoughts?
Depends how drunk you are.
I would say yeah. So the thing about alcohol, man, it gives you this weird little confidence thing, bro. And it's like whether you're harboring words that you didn't have the balls to say while you were sober, you have the confidence to say it when you're drunk. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it is, because I've been in a few relationships where I just started going crazy. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I said that shit. But I meant it, though. I wouldn't have said it sober, but deep down inside, I meant it.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just the no fucks.
Yeah, like there's no governor on this. Like, this is just how I feel. Like, these are sober thoughts.
It is fascinating how it sounds like how the brain works is like kind of like a wall.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What if drunk words are subconscious thoughts, not sober thoughts?
Yeah,
because when you're sober, those thoughts aren't even there.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, so drunk words are subconscious thoughts.
And there's a door that opens. And those thoughts just come into
like the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Starts flowing. Unhinged. Bust it open. Crazy.
And it's so funny.
It is interesting, though.
Yeah, and it's the brain trying to study the brain, ironically.
That's funny.
How we doing on time? Oh, shit. I gotta be up in the morning, too.
Yeah, we're a little bit past an hour. We can close it out. Cool little philosophical talk.
That was fun. I think I would just end with a verse from the Bible. Luke 17:21. Don't look here or there for the kingdom of God, for the kingdom of God is within you.
Some Buddha shit right there.
That's a deep one, bro. I like that one.
Yeah, and basically it was Jesus talking to people, telling them like, don't get caught up thinking you have to go to church here or church there. That's where God is. Like, God's always with you.
God is always within you, man. God is good always. That's my line right there. God is good always.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
God is inside you, not out there. Buddha. I'm just kidding.
Peace, love.
Yeah, peace and love. That's a bar though, man. Shit.
That's why I was like that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Really
I just want to elaborate on that more. Is that's deep because you shouldn't be seeking validation or words of affirmation from any outside source. Like, you have everything you seek. All the answers that you want are all inside of you. You just have to take the time to really understand who you are inside. And by finding yourself is how you find God. Or by finding God is how you find yourself. Or maybe they're the same thing. Who knows? But
and it's going to get ugly.
Facing the internal self? Yeah. Yeah, but that's how you how you know who you really are, though.
You know how sometimes we watch back our podcast videos and it's a little cringy to watch ourselves?
Yeah.
It's going to be cringy when you're fighting yourself. You're going to have some cringy ass moments.
Bro, that's the thing when people always ask me, is like, yo, bro, how do you meditate? Like, I just think. And it's like, you're supposed to think. You're supposed to face all your thoughts and your demons before you can be in absolute, like, calmness and oneness with everything. That's what it is when you're meditating, you're facing everything that you need to face before you can become, like, in a state of zen, in a state of calmness. Like, how else can you be at peace if you haven't faced everything that you're supposed to be facing?
You gotta be the warrior in the garden.
The warrior in the garden, yeah. So, yeah, meditate to elevate.
There
we
you
good?
go.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
We out.